you doing today? So I hope you are having a fantastic day. So today we are going to talk about the 50-year mortgage. I know that that is a hot topic. They're not talking about it as much as they did in the very beginning, but I want to address that matter as well and give you my personal opinion on the 50-year mortgage. So let me go ahead and quickly introduce myself for those of you all who are new to my channel. My name is Latosca Asberry, and I am a Texas real estate agent proudly serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the proud author of Home Sweet New Home. So today we are going to talk about the 50-year mortgage. So I got my notes as well as the author, you all. Because I said, I just know that this is not real. Because in my personal opinion, I think 30 years is a long time. And then you want to say 50 years, that's even longer. Wow, that's woo. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to throw in my personal opinion from time to time. So, um, what is a 50-year mortgage? Exactly what it is. You're going to be paying for the house for 50 years. So lenders are stretching your payment over a longer period, which means smaller monthly payments compared to 15 years or 30 years. And so, why are 50-year mortgages being discussed now? It's considered an option for home buyers. They want to bring out more options for home buyers. So they were saying that affordability is still not here, even though, I'm gonna say Texas Rangers. Somebody gonna buy me some tickets for Texas Rangers. Somebody gonna gift me some tickets to the Texas Rangers. Because I think they should be back around probably about the springtime. Let you know I'm not a sports fan. But all right, but if you want to gift them to me, my address is below. So it's supposed to help affordability. So even though the prices are the prices, and we do not set the prices, meaning the real estate agents, we do not set the prices at all. If we did, trust me, it would be. Um, they feel that affordability is still not out there. And to me plugging in my personal opinion, um, you have to do all builders, including the independent builders that are on the rise. You just can't take 5 builders, because there's more than 5 builders out here. You can't take 5 builders and say, hey, there's still not affordability. Well, you can't take 5 builders who builds at a price point that's $700,000. Well, that's not yes, that's not affordability, but you're not, it's and I keep telling y'all this all the time, there are builders that are first time home buyer friendly. There are some out there, and not the ones that you see all the time. And the only reason why you see those builders is because they have a bigger marketing budget. Now, I have positioned myself as a new construction advocate, and I have been out there in the new construction streets, and I have found one, two, three, I found 3 more builders, no, 4. for that are first-time home buyer friendly, that are affordable. So there's still homes out there that are under 500. I know that you see the ones that are over 500, and I know this article is probably referring to the builders, like I said, that builds in the 700 price point all the way up to $1 million. So no, that's not affordable for most Americans. And yeah, it do look like that the other builders is jumping on the trend and they're going up that way. But you still have builders that are building under 500 K. And it says some lenders and homebuyers are so they basically call it, it's a creative way to get in the door. Um, that's them. Basically, they just saying again that there's no affordability. You have to look. It's not gonna jump out at you. Trust me, it's not gonna. You have to get out there and look, or either call a real estate agent to help you, who's already did the legwork and that can tell you, hey, let's go look over here. They're still selling homes under 400K. So no, that makes 5 builders that I have seen this year that still builds under 500K, and they are in the popular areas that people are looking in. So you really have to look. So yeah, you're not going to see them because their marketing budget, it's just not as big as the ones that you see. And the ones that you see them, they bash them all the time. No, it's other ones out there. Trust me, you all. That's why I'm out here building the relationships with the sales managers. So therefore, when you come over here, the transaction can go very smoothly. You won't have to rely on social media influencers, the content creators, but they just here to make money off of you. It's about, it's about clicks and views. It's like the more you sit there and watch and click on stuff, that's the more money that they're going to make off of you. And all along, they are building equity and over here buying rental property, building their rental portfolio, making more money, while you over here listening to them bash the builders and saying how shabby the work is and this, that, and a third. And all along, they sitting up in a 2-story home, and they over here got about 5 houses, probably working on the 6th house for their rental portfolio. So you have to pump the brakes on that. You have to sit back, and what my mom used to tell me, you have to sit back and look at how people are living. And they eventually going to show you, and they are going to tell you how they are living. Because pretty much the builders that are here, they didn't build, it don't matter if the house is built in early 2000. It's the same builder. Y'all act like, I ain't gonna say y'all act like the builders just build this house in 1998. We'll say builder A built the house in 1998. Well, okay, they just built this neighborhood and then they left the area. No, they keep on going. If you go on some of their websites and go under their About Me section, go under there and read how long they've been in the industry. Some of them been in the industry for 20 years. Some of them been in for 10. Some of them been in it for 50 years. So they're still building houses. So that means they built the house in 1998. They built the house in in the 2000s, early 2014. So these are the same builders that just keep building, once they find an area that they think that's going to sell, and you all going to come out and you're going to buy and all that good stuff. That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep developing land. They are developers. They're going to keep developing land. So it's not like they're going to build a home or build a community and say, All right, bye. I'm leaving the Dallas market. I'm going over to the Houston market. No, they stay here. And they just keep building year after year after year after year. So no, you all, I'm telling you all, I know that this is not the part that you don't want to hear, but there are building homes that are still under $500,000. And they're still giving you the same things that you would get in a $700,000 home. I'm out there. You all, if you watch my community tour, so once this episode is finished, y'all go and look up under my tab that says, my playlist that says selling DFW. Go and look. If I went to, not all the communities in Dallas Fort Worth, but I've been to majority of the communities. Yes, some of them, the price point is up there, but I've also been to some where the price points is still in the affordability um, range. So it says the 50-year mortgage is seen as a way to lower monthly payments, but it definitely comes with some trade-offs. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the pros of a 50-year mortgage. So you get to have a lower monthly payment, better cash flow, potentially qualify for a bigger loan. And so again, I'm not a lender, I'm just a real estate agent, but I just want to address the 50-year mortgage product that is being spoke about, and I'm giving you all my personal opinion about it. So the cons about it: you pay more in interest rate, slow to build equity, and limited lender options. You also has pros and cons. So the cons is you get a lower payment. Um, you might get access to a larger loan, and that might be a small maybe. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe one day I would get a lender on here and we can discuss um, the 50-year mortgage. And so, is it right for you? This type of mortgage could make sense for some buyers, especially first-time buyers, who expects their income to rise or who plan to stay in their home for a long time. The reason why I'm frowning on the 50-year mortgage product, because most buyers, and it don't matter if it's an existing home or a new construction home, most buyers don't stay in their home past 7 years. 5 to 7 years is the average time frame that buyers stay in their home, and they're on to the next one for any other, for any reason, that they move. But yeah, buyers they don't stay in their homes no more. Like grandma and grandpa, how they stayed in their house all their whole entire adult life. You don't get that no more. Not a lot of buyers, they're not, well, once they buy the home, they're not buyers, they're sellers. A lot of homeowners, that's what it's called. That's the proper term. So a lot of homeowners don't stay in their homes like grandma and grandpa did. A lot of them are moving. So, hey, once the neighborhood turns around in a different direction, okay, it's time to go. I've seen it. So let me give y'all a quick example. So southwest side of town, in the city where I live, the southwest side of town was the popular area to be. Well, once people started moving in the southwest side of town, do you know so many for sale signs went up? They started moving out to Burleson. They started moving out to Joshua. They just started moving far, far out. And, those are some of the reasons why people move, because once they see the neighborhood going into another direction, oh no, it's time to go. I gotta put my for sale sign in the yard. That's one. I ain't saying that's the main reason, but that's one of the reasons they put that for sale sign in that yard. Oh no, we got to move. It's going in a different direction. And so, 50 years, yeah, that's grandma and grandpa that stayed in their house for 50 years. But yeah, the average home buyer now, no, you're not even gonna get them to stay in there for 30 years, let alone 15. Now take that back. I have one friend that been in her house for, I wanna say, about 20 years, and it might be a little over. And then she did the 15-year mortgage, because I didn't know. This is back when I was 17, you all, not now, but back when I was a teenager. You just didn't hear about the 15-year. You're like, who pays off a home in 15 years? Golly, that's good, because you normally hear 30, because 30 is the number that most of the home buyers go for. You very rarely, and again, I'm not a lender, you very rarely get people to do, the 15, but she did the 15, and she's been in her house for 20 plus years, and I don't see her going nowhere. Now, if this product was out when we were, well, she wasn't a teenager, she was in her early 20s, but if this product was back in the, out in the early 2000s, this would benefit her greatly. But like I said, a lot of home owners, they don't stay in their homes like that no more. So, I really don't know if this is going to be around, and if so, how long this is going to be around. And for others, especially if you're looking for a starter home or plan to move within a decade, be cautious. A longer mortgage may not be worth the drawback. So, if you planning on leaving, no. So there are other ways to get inside of a home besides doing the uh, 50-year mortgage. And so let me give you some tips. So real talk, what to ask yourself. So will I realistically stay in the home long enough to make, the loan make sense? Am I comfortable with the idea of paying interest for such a long period of time? Do I have other options like down payment assistance or adjustable rate loans that maybe work better for me? So some options. Always ask a trusted lender, and I do have lenders for you to have that conversation with. But first, I have to find the lenders that offer that, because by that being new, a lot of lenders don't offer that product as of yet. And just consider the pros and cons. But like I've given you all my personal opinion, and again, I am not a lender. There are other ways, and I talked about them. There are other ways that you can get in a home. There is down payment assistance. Again, down payment assistance programs are out there. You just have to find the lenders who offer them. Not all lenders offer them, because for a long time, a lot of lenders did not offer that. But it is programs out there. You all trust me, they are out there. Contact me, and I will point you in the right direction, because there are down payment assistance programs out there. They are bringing the arm back. Not my favorite product, but they bring the arm back, so it makes your payment lower for a certain amount of years. Then they have, I'm gonna call it a pretty arm, where you can do the 3-2-1 buy down, or 2-1 buy down. So there are ways, and there's closing cost assistance. So there are ways. And then let me show you, not show you, I'll tell you. So we're gonna go ahead, and they included an example in this article. So we're gonna say that the home that you've been looking at for a minute is $420,000. Okay, you get your home, you get approved, and let's just throw out there the interest rate is 6.3. Well, for 30 years, it'll be your house note will be 2,080. So 2080. So say if you do the 50-year mortgage, your note would be 1970. So you're really not saving much. Saving a few, maybe under $200 to be on the safe side. So you're saving under a $200 dollars. And I'm gonna tell you, like I told someone who was looking, I told a first time home buyer this information. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, what? Why did you do that? So they thought that by putting down a larger down payment would save, would lower your house note. And because that's what they say, put down a larger deposit down payment and it will save. Well, I said, sit down and do the math and see how much it's going to save you. And they sit down and they did the math and they changed their mind and they just stuck with what was given. And yeah, you're gonna have, and I know they tell you put down the 20, they didn't want to put down the 20%, but they wanted to put down a little bit higher. I'm not for sure if it was the 20%, but don't quote me. That was a long time ago. But I want to say it wasn't close to 20%. But I just told them sit down and do the math and see if you really save it. And you really, if you sit down and do the math monthly, so break it down by month, then multiply by 12, and just really see if you actually really saving that money. And then my suggestion was to take that money, the money that you was going to use to put down for a bigger down payment, use that money and put it towards the principal. Send it in and as an extra payment and put on the check for interest. No, principal, you're right. Send it towards the principal so you can knock that down. Because that's what you really want to knock down. Because in the beginning, you paying the interest. And then probably 10, 15 years later, you're paying the actual house now. And so, you have to really, I'm talking about old schools, get a sheet of paper and a pen and just sit down and just do the math and see will it really work. So is the 1900 really worth, really worth it versus the 2000? And then it's like, well, okay, if you choose the 50-year mortgage, what are you gonna do? We'll say the extra $200. Okay, so what are you gonna do with that extra $200? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you going to put it towards something else meaningful? Just like what are you going to do with it? Are you going to send the extra $200 in to put towards the principal? So there, it's just pros and cons with it. As far as just me, no. Because like I said, it is affordability out there. Like I said in the very beginning of this episode, I ran across 5 builders in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that are still building homes under $500,000. And sometimes you got to do like what the rappers say: turn the TV off, turn the internet off. So I'm telling you all, they're gonna have you just literally going insane because you're not gonna know what to believe. That's why you got to get from behind the screen, come out and ask questions, because your situation might be completely different. Because people are not gonna tell you, they're gonna tell you the bad stuff about their experience, but your experience will be good. You're talking about somebody who bought a house and their credit was 600. So yeah, but then when it's your turn to get out there and your credit is 700, your terms are going to be much better than somebody who has a 600 credit score. So I said everybody's situation is different. You can't keep listening to the content creators and the social media influencers because they are here for clicks and views and to make money off of you all. And then all along, because like I said, I see it time and time. They're going to show you and they're going to tell you how they are living. So they're going to be behind the scenes in their two-story home and also building their real estate portfolio over here, working with 5 houses, working on house number 6. And all along, you're still renting an apartment and, so they making money hands over fist. So come on, you all, come on. Get up off the fence. You just never, ever know. And then once you get in the lender's hands, they are not there. They're there to steer you in the right direction, you all. So they're not there to hurt you. So if they tell you to do something that's going to increase your credit score, if they, say, well, pay this bill off, or do this, don't do that. Do it, you all. You just never ever know. It beats going through credit repair. So they're really trying to save you from that nightmare because these credit repair companies, Lord have mercy, you don't want to go down that road. And so they are actually really saving you money if they just telling you, hey, pay that credit card down some, pay that off. Okay, we're gonna come back in a few more months and we're gonna check your credit, and your credit score is gonna be up to where you need it to be. And then, hey, go ahead and get your keys, y'all. So yeah, that's pretty much my 2 cents. Use it wisely. So at the end of the day, the choice is yours whether the 15, the 30, or the 50-year mortgage product is for you. I just given you my personal opinion about it. Gave you the pros and cons. Affordable homes are still being built. I know you're gonna see a lot of agents, and that's including myself. We're gonna be showcasing the homes that's over $700,000, but still reach out and ask, hey, do you have affordable homes that are under $500,000? And yes, you are. They trust me, they are still out there. But all right, you all. So do not forget about my book, Home Sweet New Home. So in this book, I teach you about buying a new construction home. So there's not like a lot of education around buying a new construction home. So I just went ahead and I created a book to, help you all along the way. And, I made sure to make chapter 1 the importance of having a real estate agent. And I talked about the different loan products. Now, the 50-year mortgage plan, they talked about that briefly. They're not talking about it as much as they have been, but it's not in my book. So I just talk about the traditional stuff that has been out there for years and years. And I talk about protecting your investment. So, all right, y'all. So this is sold online wherever books is sold. So Home Sweet New Home. So I highly recommend you all get the book, because when I say that a lot of these builder reps, they don't have the opportunity to sit down and educate you all on buying a new home. So that's why I created this book. And it's a short read. It's just really 50, no, not 50, 68 pages. And you're not a big fan of reading, just read chapters 1, 5, and 6. If you don't do anything else, read chapters 1, 5, and 6. So chapter 1 is the importance of having a real estate agent. Chapter 5 is protecting your investment. Chapter 6 is home financing options. So this book will save you, because once you start putting down that money, that earnest money deposit, you cannot get it back now. You can back out of the plan, you can back out of everything, but just know that that money is not refundable, because it's like a production over here. You all, I just hate to say it, it's like a production. So you know, if I was you, I would get this before I would step foot into a model home. And when you do that, even when you step a foot in there, you know, you still would need a real estate agent, because once you register yourself, there's nothing that a real estate agent can do, because you already said that you wasn't working with an agent. And you all, 2026, you all stop going around the realtors to go directly to the builder reps. You all stop doing that. Tell them when you all are doing that consultation, tell them, you know, hey, we should be asking you all, because that's how I do it. Because a lot of first time home buyers, they're looking at the existing homes, and I listen to them, I hear them out, I listen to them clearly, and I make sure to come in and say, what is your thoughts on new construction? Oh, well, I never thought about that. We're supposed to be, giving you all options. That's what we're supposed to do. But some of them don't do that. And so, you know, you want to say when you're in that consultation, hey, I want to look at some new construction as well, because y'all are, by going around, you cutting us out of the deal. What about all of the work that we did on looking at existing homes, and then you come around us and go directly to the builder, and then when the builder, if they ask you, you know, are you working with a realtor, and you say no, well, they ain't gonna, chastise you. They ain't gonna ask you 3 times, are you working with a realtor? They just gonna go by what you said the first time. If you said no, all right, then I'm ready to proceed on. No, you all, stop doing it. It's 2026, you all. Stop doing it. Just when you go into there and you have your consultation, be sure to say, hey, I want to look at existing homes and I want to look at new construction homes, especially if your agent doesn't offer that to you. You go in there and say, hey, I want to look at both. I want to look at existing and I want to look at new construction options as well. And therefore, we're not wasting time, you all, because this is our 9 to 5. Just like you have a 9 to 5, that this is our 9 to 5. And then when you go around us and go directly to us, that cuts us out of the deal, and we lose a lot of money, you all. So yeah, so stop doing that in 2026 and beyond. Just go ahead and just stay up front in the consultation. Hey, I want to look at some new construction options as well. So all right, y'all, that has been my rant, and I will see you in the next episode.